Hey, happy Wednesday, or rather, happy early Valentine's morning, or what's left of it. How you been? As you can see here, I have a few works. I don't know why I insist on adding upon more works in progress, but the short attention span shortcomings have risen apparently. So I am a slave to my own shortcomings. Lovely, lovely. All right. So as you can see here, I am doing some Valentine's things. I did start on this a few days ago, and then for some reason, when I try to do very easy, easy slash extra cute simplified things, I get bored really fast. I hate it. I wish I was not like this, but here we are. But I did start on this. Don't get me wrong, and then I got bored because I started doing this. And so my original idea was to do like maybe a series of like cute little Valentine things. And then I decided to go the whole 360 opposite. And thus Venom. Why is there Venom? Because apparently he is a choice for Valentine's Day cards, apparently. At least that's what it said in Pinterest. I just put Venom Valentine's. And there was some. It's like, oh, if you want to give Valentine's to, your male partner, whatever, and you want to not make them feel super girly about it or whatever, you can give them Venom Valentines. I was like, oh, I want one too. So I made one. I'm making one too. I can't expect, well, I don't know. My husband doesn't care for Venom. I care about it more than he does. So I'm like, all right, I'll just see what happens from here. And I'm not going to do all of them all at once. If you've been on this live stream track record thing as long as I have, I kind of doubt it, but just as a recap, I don't do things from start to finish. I just have works in progress, bit by bit by bit, because that's how I function apparently. I do a lot of things not simultaneously. I just do things on pause. Like I have to dry something, I have to do another project, and while it's drying, I do another project. It's kind of like that. So when I post, sometimes it looks like I post really fast, like, oh, I've been doing so much work, and I'm like, not really. But at the same time, I haven't been doing as much art stuff. If you've seen my recent track record of my art submissions in both here and what was it? Instagram, I haven't been doing as much. I would post old work that I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while. I might as well put it up there. And so it's been kind of stale in the art creating department for me, but maybe it is a good time for a break because I am posting a lot, dang it. So let me breathe a little bit, but I'm not really breathing off camera. I'm just doing extra things that I have to be doing, like taxes and other boring paperwork things I have to take care of, and helping my family and all that stuff that no one gives a crap about. Let's face it, who gives a crap about my life? Nobody. Well, that's good. Just let's keep it that way. There's not much for you. Okay. So anyway, oh, I don't like these teeth. This is already bad. This is already a bad start. I am not surprised. But, well, I'm trying to do my own version, but I'm not very good at doing my own versions. That's why I do copies, okay? And for people who poo-poo on those who copy for the sake of fun and relaxation, there's nothing wrong with that. Calm down. I am calm. So, I really need to stop saying so anyway, so except I keep track of my filler repeat words, but at the same time, you can't help but use them over and over again because it's a habit. I guess it's a habit. Oh, and I need to break it. I know I should train myself to talk more eloquently, but I don't like it. I don't like sounding super fake about such things. Like, I'm not that bright. Okay, I already know that, but at the same time, I don't like faking that I'm smart when I'm really not. If you're dumb, at least own it, admit it, that's fine. But at the same time, I don't like when smart people not smart people, it's like dumb people dumber than me try to act smarter than me, and they kind of lord it over you. That's one of my pet peeves. Maybe I should have a live stream of my multitude of pet peeves, but I have to like make an actual list. They kind of have been in there subconsciously in the back of my mind, but I never really organized a literal list, like a physical copy of things that piss me off. But should I do that? Maybe. I don't know. Would that be a good way to celebrate 100K subscribers? That's kind of has nothing to do with my content, but that would be kind of funny. I wouldn't mind. Let me know. Or any other suggestions would be great. I kind of don't like this already. What's going on here? So, what else is there to talk about? So, yes, all right. Early Valentine's Day. Yes, because it's on Friday. I'm not going to do this on Friday. What the heck am I doing? Ugh, I think I have to make card thingies for my kids' class, but there are special arrangements going on. So I bought things, and it turns out they were wrong, and I can't return them because I opened everything already. So I'm like, I guess I eat extra chocolate. I will double confirm later today with the teacher and all that stuff. Other things, I was looking on what the heck do I talk about, because I'm not a romantic type. You can kind of tell from my voice. I'm like, so I don't expect the guy to be all like whining, dining, the finest things in life, the luxury way of celebrating holiday. No, I don't know. Maybe the thing is, I have family that is into that stuff, and I'm like, like that would be nice, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't know what to ask because I never really had such things. And if I do, I have to ask first. Like they don't, and they say, well, they can't read your mind. You have to tell them. Where's the fun in that, to be honest? Especially, it's one thing where you don't know the person, but if you lived with them for X amount of years, you've been with this person for X amount of years, in the double digits, mind you would think, oh, maybe they should know a little bit about me. Apparently not. That's not how brains works for some people. I don't know. I'm not trying to throw some people under the bus, but it just makes you wonder sometimes. But it's not like we never celebrate. It's Valentine's Day. But we don't take it that seriously. At most, we give each other chocolates and let's just eat chocolate somewhere, and then I guess that's it. I don't remember. There was one year before my son was born, my husband and I picked him up after work when he was working in a high-end store, and then I picked him up, and then there was an event by the Ferry Plaza, and I think it was like a pillow fight event at the Ferry Plaza where you and your loved one, or if you're single or you're with friends, you can all go together, bring a pillowcase, and just start beating the hell out of each other with pillows. And I've taken pictures and videos of it. It looks like a public travesty. Is that the correct word? Because it's a mess. I'm surprised people have downy feathers for pillows in pillow stuffing, because there was feathers everywhere. I was like, I thought people use cotton or some kind of stuffing, not feathers, but there were feathers flying everywhere, like goose feathers, chicken feathers, some kind of element of feathers flying all over the place. And it looks like a total nightmare for public cleaners the next day, if not that after the event is over. I mean, we went there just to see what's up because we just saw people going over to the Ferry Plaza like in droves. So we went there, and there was just like a massive amount of pillow fluff and feathers just flying everywhere. Like, oh my God, that looks so messy. It looks like fun, don't get me wrong, but I guess we were at an age where like, oh, that's a big fat mess. I don't want to be around to clean it up. And I feel bad for, I hope those who had to stick around and clean all that crap, they were paid hefty amounts of money because that was a lot of mess. Oh my God, it was insane. So that was interesting. I never actively participated in that kind of event, but it was interesting to see, I guess. Are there any kinds of weird events like that during Valentine's Days for any of you who are in other countries or other states? Let me know in the comments. That'd be interesting to learn about. And oh my god, this is looking ugly. Ugly, 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 lovely. Okay, so my god, his tongue is bigger than his head. Like what? I'm trying to follow a reference, but it's not lay functioning. And I'm just gonna do this here because it's the complete opposite. I'm just like winging it at this point. I'm trying to stretch out the map. I'm not very good at this. Funny enough, you would think, oh, you drew Venom a handful of times. You should, but if I'm doing it by myself, it's like drawing based on your memory, and yet you're using references. That's pretty awful. Oh crap. Okay, fine. Let's just see what happens. And if I mess up, I can always paint over it. That is totally fine. I've done that before, and I can do it again, in theory. And this looks bad, so I don't like this one. Let's just scoot you on over. I don't want to waste my time hoping for the best, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, so get over there. Now, I have this, but I'm kind of tired of it. So let's work on the Zhu. Oh, goodness, he's trying to not be a part of the group. I don't blame you. So I have the Zhu Bajie here, and he looks like I like it, but at the same time, I'm thinking about painting over the wool. The other option is I find other wool colors, but I can't find my stack of neutral colored wool, which is really irking the hell out of me. I've been spending a handful of days off and on looking for like the grays, the dark browns, this kind of brown. I only had this brown on a whim, but then otherwise I'm like, I can't find this crap. And I tried to trim some areas. I'm not the best hair cutter with inanimate objects. My husband and son are one thing, but this is getting kind of So I'm thinking about just painting certain areas just to kind of, I'm hoping that is a good idea. There's no possibility of it being like, well, it's gonna suck, but let's try anyway. Well, there is a high probability of that actually. So let me start small and paint the little bone things on his belt. And no, it was not part of the actual build of the 3D print model. I put that there with air dry foam clay and acrylic paint. That's basically it. Also glue, because I cannot rely on the consistency of air foam clay to stick. If you don't trust the process of the clay sticking itself, just use freaking what did I use? Crazy glue slash I have like this weird fabric glue that's pretty effective, and then also Gorilla Glue, but that's kind of hit or miss. It's not my best friend. Where's my paintbrush? Okay, so where is you? Okay, there's one of them. So I have to do several things all at once because this busted failure here is not cooperative. I might just paint over it in pink because I wanted to drop Venom still in pink. I know I have him in like highlights of pink, but I want him in actual pink because I do things like that. So here we are. Let's be quiet and start painting a little bit. Oh gosh, I probably should have done polymer clay, baked it, and then what? Glued it on. That is also a possibility, but I didn't feel like doing it. And I did find clay, the polymer clay. I just didn't feel like dealing with the oven and waiting and baking and hoping it oh gosh, I want to like polymer clay, but there's just too much work. And then sometimes that crap breaks. I've had instances where I make things I want to give to my friends, but I have to make sure there are no stray detail parts hanging out, like strands of hair or fingers, toes, ears that stick out like a bear's ears or some kind. If I try to send it, there's a good chance it will break in transit, and it terrifies me to no end. So I haven't tried sending any projects to, or like polymer clay gifts to friends, even though I made some in like based off their characters and I want to give it to them. But already when I put in the box, one of the pieces of hair fell out. I was like, oh my God. And by fell out, I mean it broke in a piece, 2 pieces already. So I'm like, unless I meet this person in real life and physically give it to them, I cannot trust the delivery system to make sure it shows up in one piece. That's how paranoid I am about sending things at, handmade polymer clay things as gifts. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, thankfully this one is not too bad. This one, I could paint underneath, but it's like very wiggly. It's not like, what is it? It's not like polymer clay where it's more stiff to some degree. This one is a little bit more wiggly, as you can see here. But unless I'm like actively ripping it out, which I'm clearly not, it should be fine. And this kind of air dry foam clay, it's very useful for like adding little embellishments, little details to certain things, like flower petals, especially. I don't know if you're into making flower petals for little details on your picture frames. Can I? Oh, I can get one. Let's let this one dry a tiny bit. Oh gosh. And if you can see here, I messed up. I had to break this in half. I glued this thing together. It came in 2 pieces, but it would not fit in the hand. I didn't think that far. And so I was like, how do I put this frigging weapon in his hand? I had to break it in half and then force it in. And then it did not adhere properly. So it's like, well, it's as long at this angle, you can't tell. Let me get that example of what I use for the air dry foam clay. It's not that far. All right, so tiny break. There's a lot of pink today. So this one, why is there crap on here? Anyway, this is the exact same foam clay I used, but it was a lot more, dare I say, moist. It was a lot more fresh, I guess. And I wanted to add a little bit more to this little thing with flowers, the cherry blossoms. I know that would be my face if I actually saw this, but I wanted to add a little bit more. So I made all of these air dry clay flower petals to give it like an extra bit of depth and dimension. And it worked out pretty damn well, if I dare say so myself. And I think I did another one, but the painting was not as good, I think. I should have just kept it all cats, but just like different kinds of cats with cherry blossoms. But this was in a set of three of these word art frames. 2 of them I did cherry blossoms, and then the third one, I think that was my first attempt. It was just Sanrio as space astronauts, and I'm thinking about painting over that just because I kind of don't like it anymore. And either I might give it away as a gift or sell it, or I will just paint over entirely. I haven't decided yet. So I may post it. No, I posted on Instagram before, but I kind of don't like it right now. So I'm just, okay. Let's shut up and continue painting. Some areas are still green. Originally, I'm not supposed to be putting fur on Zhu Bajie, but after seeing like the sort of different kinds of models of Zhu Bajie, including ones that actually have fur or hair, that's like the more high-end models that are pre-order or they're available. I don't know. I wanted to try that as well, and it turned out pretty okay, but I might have to paint on top of it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try, and if it doesn't work out, I don't know. I'm worried I'm making it worse. But hey, whatever. If I don't like it, I guess I could buy another one and try again. I don't know. Someone like one of my cool friends, they suggested like, oh, you should do this, but replace the head with Bats Maru or someone from Sanrio. I was like, oh yeah, that actually isn't a bad idea. But I don't know any similar head size. I mean, anything with a Bats Maru head unless I make it myself, either with polymer clay or I have to have it custom 3D printed. But I know one person, but I think they're busy. But yeah, that I think to play it safe, I'm just gonna try a painting version of that and then see how it fares from there. I would tweak some things, like maybe change the color of his outfit and add some things that make him him. Like it's more for him rather than me just placing a head on someone else's body, you know. Okay, what else? Oh, right. So I have to look for the brown. Okay, so this one, this one, this one. Where is the brown that I was? Did I put it here like a dumb idiot? God, I hope not. Did I? Oh, thank God it's purple. Okay. And then I have the gold. If I have to do things, I think I'm pretty much done with adding the fur on his head. His hands and his chest is a big fat maybe. I'm still debating on that. Ah, why? The one, oh, is this the one I was looking for this color. Actually, I can use this one. Yes. Yes. But where's the other one? Oh, yeah, here we go. I thought I had another. I might have to buy another. I don't want to, but I might have to. Okay, so let's scoot you over so I don't. Sorry, Venom. I guess I have to work on you off camera, unfortunately, because it ain't working out, guy. It ain't working out. Let's see. Zhu Bajie. And there are some picture ideas I may consider doing. Oh, let me see. So this is what I have to work with. It's very plain. It's like just grays and like a very faded out blue. So yeah, I'm trying to make it a little bit more interesting, and I hope I'm going in that direction. But sometimes if I mess up or I added more than I should, it just starts declining from there. Let's hope that is not the case. I don't know. This thing cost me like 60 something dollars. Okay, so I hope I don't wreck it. I hope. Okay, so yeah, because some parts he looks like he has a dark brown nose, and then in some cases he has a straight up gray. But I don't know. Stop talking. Let's go paint already. Okay, so I have to keep reminding myself or I forget. Now, where is that paper towel? This is the downside of, well, I have a towel, so I don't have to worry too much. Okay. That towel sucks anyway, so it's fine. Let's see here. Whether or not I will paint Black Myth Wukong, the actual figure, 3D print figure, I don't know yet because I haven't seen a model that looks as good as the Destin one. I've seen a few, but they only show parts. Like, oh God. Like just the head or the torso. And I'm like, that's just okay, maybe. But I don't like some of the face features doesn't match with the Black Myth Wukong version, but they also have other variations of it. So I'm kind of not sure whether or not, okay, this is looking bad. It's looking bad. But, well, I never said I was perfect at all the art stuff. Okay, so here we are. Let me do some brown. Because I rather have more browns than grays. It looks a little bit more, gives it more warmth, I feel. But of course, I'm going to throw in some, like, this is a kind of gray, so that's fine. But some areas have like dark brown. That's why I'm like, hopefully it won't look like caca butt. And I have a lot of brushes, so if I wreck it, that's fine. But I just don't want to wreck like 15, 20 brushes, which I have done before, so. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm not that big of a, oh, you're not supposed to do this. Yeah, I know. You know. So what? Okay. Plus, I can't find my neutral colored wools. Watch me find it when I totally don't need it. I'll be so freaking upset. So upset and cranky as all hell that when I don't need it, this is what happens. This is my stupid luck here. When I don't need the things, I find them. And they're like in front of my face most of the time. But then when I actually need the things, I've already put them away. They're shoved in what closet? There's more than one closet. It's in some kind of storage box of some kind. I don't know where the hell it is. That's almost always the case with me, and it irks the heck out of my brain, I swear. Okay. And this is quite ugly. Okay, but this is kind of correct. I'm trying to go by the colors. I wish I had the correct wool, but life decided to not hand me a bone in that department anyway. Okay, so if it ends up really bad, then that's on me, because I could have just totally avoided all this. Just could have just left it alone, lady. But no, you had to add more and more and more. And let's see how far I can go. I think it's because I'm not too keen. I liked the head originally, but the more I looked at what I didn't like was the body is too skinny. But I wanted a more portly, chubby, round belly. But I can't always get what I want. And so but I still like the head, and yet I'm ruining it apparently. But oh well. Hopefully it turns out okay. What the heck? And then some parts that might be kind of weird, I can just kind of cut it off or add more fur and paint over. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out because I'm not feeling this right now. Oh, kind of looks. The lighting makes it awful, but yeah. Like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. I'm like, well, do that. Plus, he is kind of muddy. I mean, he hit one of his when you fight him, he is in like a big mud pit, so it's not totally off the mark. I like making excuses for my shortcomings. Okay, so what does this have to do with Valentine's Day? Actually, when you think about it, the chapter where he was featured in more, what is it, chapter 4 with the spider hollow place? They do talk about his background a little bit in terms of him trying to find love and aiming way too high, more higher than he should, and not totally liking what he ended up settling for. But at the same time, they did have moments where they did find each other attractive. But at the same time, this if you've seen this character, he's not just wanting one woman. He wants all the women, even the older women that are still somewhat attractive. Like that's how he is. And so not a lot of women like that where they start straying off for another woman if they get bored or, oh, that one looks better. And yeah, this is the kind of personality he has. It's not a very good personality, but sometimes it can be seen as comical, or at least it was in the TV series from what I saw. But, when you try to apply it to real life, a lot of women wouldn't stand for that. But sometimes they don't care either. That's the other thing people don't like to talk about. So it's kind of interesting with this character. I just like the design. It's a lot better than what I saw in the TV series in the 80s. The few times that I've heard of it. But at the same time, I don't like that behavior, obviously. I mean, who would? But he does it in a funny way, I guess. But at the same time, like, shouldn't we be condoning this behavior? And yet he makes it look funny. Can you blame him? Okay. Back to the whole Valentine's thing. Yeah, like the chapter 4 in the end when you defeat the Taoist monk, they do show a kind of like a love music video of sorts between him and that spider lady who ends up super old. So I was like, oh, okay. That's not too bad. Like kind of sad, but not too bad. And then the art, when they show the whole thing, it's like, oh, that's so cool. I don't know. I kind of want to try that kind of art style. It looks fun to try, but I kind of need to figure out what exactly am I drawing. It's one thing where, oh, yeah, I can just copy things. But the other thing is, the rare times I do want to be creative, I have to think extra to figure out, okay, I have to make sure this works or I will waste my time. And I really don't like wasting my time on such things just because it's my time. I don't have a lot of it, but if I waste time, oops, it's on me. It's my own fault. Oh my god. Maybe I'm making it worse. Well, it's okay. Just whatever. I have to just take it as a whatever and hope for the best because I don't have all the colors of my wool. That's why I'm trying to settle with let's just paint and see what happens. But if I don't like it, I do have a grace period of actually putting more wool on it, but I also don't want to do that too much because that stuff gets everywhere. It was on my pants on the way to on the way to my kid's school. Like, oh yeah, I'm that person now. And I'm thinking about doing paintings on like canvas bags because I bought that classic Trader Joe's bag. Yes, what was it, yesterday? No. I think on Monday I purchased it, and then some raspberries fell out of its container and smushed a little bit into my bag. And I was like, what? I just bought it. See, that's the luck of my life. Stupid stuff happens sometimes. And so I did wash it. The stains came out, but the bag is a little crumpled. So I'm thinking maybe I can do some little painting on it. I don't know what to paint on it exactly, but I will think, well, I already know a handful of things I can paint. There's also Black Myth Wukong. I could draw Venom. I also have to consider what kind of paint. Should I still use acrylic paint? The thing is, acrylic paint does get crunchy. And if I want to wash it again, I don't know how it'll end up in the wash. There's also the fabric paint, but that one's really hard to work with. And I've heard there are different combinations on how to make it more malleable on fabric and canvas fabric. I can talk, I swear. At the same time, though, I'm sometimes when I try to take risk with art stuff, it just turns out oh so bad, and I end up wasting my time, and it pisses me the hell off. So I want to try new things this year and hope that I don't waste my time and money because once I start wasting money, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, the coloring is a lot better now. I like this a lot better. I still will figure this whatever out, and then okay, that's a lot. Okay, I don't want it totally furry just because I just wanted it to have some texture. That's what I was aiming for. I wasn't necessarily wanting it to be totally real life. I just wanted some element of texture in his fur. And while I do have wool, again, I don't have the colors, so that kind of stabbed me in the foot. And it's taking me longer to find it, so I was like, screw it, just do one color and see if it works painting over it. It seems okay for now, but I don't know for how long. Plus, I have to see what it looks like when it's dried. Yeah. The other option besides acrylic paint is to do the airbrushing, I think that's called. Yeah, I seen that stuff, and I seen people that use airbrush painting. I think that's what it's called. I forgot. I'm so behind on art supply terminology, but I don't have anywhere to put it, and I also lose interest if it turns out it doesn't work in my favor, and especially so if I'm only using it a little and then I don't use it for a lot of my work. That's why I just stick to acrylic paint. Though there are like the very thin but more opaque, I think they're opaque paints like the Tamiya paints. I used to have some okay, I had virtually no experience with that. I only had it technically back in high school when our teacher made us buy car models, like those little car models for our project, and I never finished it. I forgot what happened, but I just didn't. I don't care for cars. Okay, let's just be honest about that. I don't care. So when I don't care about art subjects, I'm more than likely not willing to finish it, unfortunately. for those who are interested, it is a lot of fun for them. I totally get that. But it's not for me. I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. Okay, so did I have more of this? I hope I do. Because it's getting a bit less. Yeah, I kind of want him kind of dirty looking because he's a boar and he's like, I'm a messy boar. So his hair is, yeah, even in the references, he looks quite unkempt. So I think this does suit him more than being all fluffy and cute. So it's not necessarily working against me. But I don't know if I recommend this method. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, I wish I was joking. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do things based on what I see and then just hope for the best. Yeah. Should I use a bigger brush? But I don't want to add too much and it's too gloppy and then I have to deal with it later. So he looks like this right now. Okay, it's not too bad. He looks like he fell in the mud. That's what I'm looking for. That is correct. Okay, what does this have to do with Valentine's? Already 36 minutes. I was wondering, maybe I should take Valentine's a little bit more seriously outside of crafts and buying whatever chocolates on discount on the 15th. Not that I haven't tried, but sometimes all the gross ones are just out there during the discount times. And those who are like, let's give couples a hard time and take all the good stuff. And you get all the weird, yucky, red lollipop candies that no one eats. I was like, should I really take Valentine's more seriously than I should? Especially I'm married and all that stuff. And yes and no. Yes, maybe a little bit more. Like we go out somewhere. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Like just go for a walk is totally fine. But the other thing is the weather is ugly around this time, and it just is not. It's very off-putting, especially when we're cold, and I get sick easily. The other thing is, because the editor / my husband is Chinese, there's more than one Valentine's. I don't know if you guys know that, but I found out in a span of 10 minutes on Google. But I was supposed to know most of these, but apparently I don't, because I do know of the other Chinese holiday, the Chinese version of Valentine's Day. There's a Chinese Valentine's Day, and I think it's called, what is this called? The Qixi Festival, or the Night of Sevens, or Double Seven Festival. It's based off this ancient Chinese fairy tale that took place during the Han Dynasty. That's a long time ago, guys. Freaking long time ago. I was like, oh, okay, there's a legit love story behind it about the cow herder and the weaver girl. Okay, all right. I heard of it, but I don't want to say it right now because I kind of forgot. But just check it up on Google if you're interested, about the cow herder and the weaver girl, or look up the Qixi or Qixi festival. And I was like, oh, right. And it's every, what is it called? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I have to, I'm not going to remember everything. What is it? Blah, 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 blah. Chinese Valentine's, blah, blah. Well, for this year, it's on August 29, 2025. And then it's every 7th night of the 7th lunar month. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Lunar New Year thing applies in this case, more or less. And there's more than one. So Valentine's, I think it's similar to Japan, where it's Valentine's Day. I think the woman also gives gifts on Valentine's Day, but I'm not sure, because they mentioned they also have, I'm not sure if I read correctly, because there's also a White Day, March 14, where I'm not sure if that's correct, actually. That might be the Japanese one, because I do know that they do have the whole thing about giving chocolates to male friends or coworkers and friends, and then you give some to whoever you have a crush on, what have you, on February 14. Then March 14 is when the men reciprocate those chocolates in kind. So I was like, oh, okay. But I'm not sure if that, because I was looking up Chinese, and then if that showed up, but I'm pretty sure that's Japanese. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing that when I lived there in China. There was also another one they called the Internet Chinese Internet Valentine's Day, where it's like May 20th, because it sounds similar to Wo I Ni, I love you in Chinese. It's Wu Er Ling, I think. I can't pronounce well. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so there's more than one Valentine's Day for China. So I think if I took things that seriously, like, do I have to celebrate all of those? I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't know. But I only heard it in passing from my editor, and then we didn't really do much. Like, oh, it's gonna be blah 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 day. I mean, it's gonna be the Chinese Valentine's holiday. I was like, oh, okay. Are we supposed to do anything? We're like, well, you can if you want. And, it was kind of like that kind of conversations, like not like, oh, let's go do something, let's make a plan. Like, oh, it was just, it's that day. Should we do anything? We don't have to. That's it. That's our conversation about such things. So I was like, should I take this stuff more seriously, especially when I'm getting old and stuff? I don't know. I probably have to ask him rather than asking total strangers online. Yeah, I'll ask about it. I mean, I already bought something, but it's like, I don't know. And then I do see like some people really talk bad about Valentine's, or they mention how, oh, it's singles remembrance day or something. Like they try to humor it up for those who haven't found a person, or they're not married, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm all like, yeah, I never thought that far. Like, I was single for a long time. I didn't even think that far about Valentine's having to be reminded that you're always single forever. But some people, I think, take it way more seriously, or they've been around people that take it way more seriously and want the things that those people have. I get it. But for me, I'm just like, oh, you want chocolate? I like chocolate. Let's get some chocolate. That's about it. Yeah, there's always, I think if you don't take holidays too seriously, you're not that disappointed. But at the same time, if you just, that's all you do can't help but wonder, maybe I should take the holiday more seriously, or at least be a little bit more appreciative, or do more for my partner and all that good stuff. So I don't know, because it's gonna be this Friday. I'm like, do I have anything worth doing? And it's also on the weekend. I mean, we can't maybe do it on the Friday, but maybe on the weekend we can do something like a dinner or something. But because we don't really have babysitters, 9, if not 10 out of 10 times, my son will be with us. But I don't mind. He can be my little big Valentine. I don't mind. Plus, he's also a February baby, so I don't mind as much. He's still, when he's not having his little rambunctious moments, he is still very cute, and I don't mind that. So anyway, yeah, if I were to take Valentine seriously, apparently China takes it a whole other level. They have more than just one day. They have more than one day, but it depends on the generations whether or not they want to celebrate it or not. Like, you totally can, but it's like not that big of a deal for most people. But there are some people, especially those who want the finer things in life, that like, hey, where's my chocolate, where's my gift? Like, how do you celebrate Chinese Valentine's Day? Gifts, flowers, chocolates, and romantic dates. I was like, oh. And when I saw the word dates in romantic dates, you know what I initially thought? I thought it was the actual sugar dates that you eat at the grocery store. Fat ass. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think, oh, like, how's the date supposed to be romantic? You put some sugar and chocolate on it. Oh my god, that, no. Oh, my head. What's going on in there? And it's healthy, so it's fine. So it just gets worse from there. But no, I know it means an actual, you go out on a date with your partner and all that cute stuff. So I was like, oh, that date. I was like, oh, and I was low-key disappointed that that's what they meant and not actual food stuff. So I was like, oh, all right. I swear. So I don't know. I should ask the editor about that. And sometimes he watches my live streams. Okay, I'm lying. He doesn't really watch it. He only watched. I think the last time was last year, and he decided to leave a chat when I was chatting with one of my old friends on this chat room thing. But yeah. Oh well. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Yeah, he looks slimy, but we gotta wait for this stuff to dry, and we'll see how it turns out. And then any excess fur that is like coming out of the like yeah, it's kind of seed around here. I'm gonna of course give it a little haircut. Yeah, hopefully that'll turn out a little bit better. And now let's work on the back. I also have like this kind of glitter that looks like snow, and I've been looking for it. I can't freaking find it for the death of me. It drives me insane. And it's gonna, yeah, I was seeing it like off and on when I didn't need it, but now that I need it, where the heck did I put it? Oh my God. That's why I also need to do the whole spring cleaning crap so I can find my freaking craft supplies. Now I'm getting back into handmade things. I need to look for the things, and I don't want to. But I'm also supposed to be cleaning out stuff, but I'm supposed to clean another area of the house, not my room. But I also need to get rid of some things. So it's like, oh, goodness gracious. One thing after another. Can you kind of see why I haven't been really active doing painting or art crafts in general? I have to do other things off camera, and it makes me friggin' tired. And by the time I do have art time, right? It's already like midnight. It's already 1 a.m. And it's like, well, gotta try again tomorrow. And it's like the same thing over and over again. But I try not to be the kind where eventually I just give up. And what's the point? I don't have enough time for art. I have time. It's just I'm tired. But I like art way too much to totally give it up. It's the only thing I honestly think I'm good at. I think. I'm not the best at it, but I like to make do with what I can and hope for the best. That's basically the majority of my art mantra when I make things. I don't really have much of a plan. I just like have an idea. Let's see what materials I have and what I can do with what I can, and see if it's a hit or miss. 7 out of 10 times it's a hit, but there is that percentage like, ooh, that's smart. That ain't cool. So yeah, it's okay. It's just I think with artists, I don't know about all artists, but for me, doing he's molting. He's molting. With me, it turns more into a waste of time and money. But what I do like about the materials I use, it's not super expensive, so I don't feel too bad, but it's still money. But I still have that mentality where, well, it's better I spent $1.75, $1.50 on this material, and I waste it rather than something I spent like $50 and I messed it up. Like, but this is $63, this figurine, this model here. But I still like it, but I have to see what it looks like dried, and then I can kind of not mess, but like try to fix some areas to make it look more like hair than glops. So here's hoping, I suppose. What is this? 48 minutes already. Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, Valentine Venom. I have to work on you off camera. I do want to have a Venom Valentine. I was like, oh, it's not that unique. There were some other fan art of Venom as, wanting to express his love in plural to whoever receives his Valentine. So I was like, oh, okay, I like that. I'll do that. But I have to figure out what exactly, because the idea I had initially, it's not so good for those of you who are sticking around just now. Yeah, it ain't cute. I'm like, oh, the humanity, and one of the glass crystals fell off. Yeah, if I go back to this kind of art stuff, I have to break out all of my craft supplies. I stored all of them or most of them away, and the ones I thought I was going to use and I kind of did not, it's like, ooh, okay. Where are they? I don't know. So yeah, I have to clear out things And then I have to, oh gosh, today I don't think I can. I have to go to the grocery store and buy some extra food. And then tomorrow I have to go out again to buy correct gift bags for the Valentine's Day because I bought wrong ones. And so, yeah, that's why. What art time do you even have? I don't know. And then garbage night. Ugh, gosh, I really don't like garbage night. Oh, did I mention that I walked it? There are raccoon sightings, but also coyote. There are coyote sightings near where I live because I literally live near a forest, like a forest park sort of place. It's the second largest park of the city. The first being Golden Gate Park. This is the one I'm near is the second. It's pretty big though, but there are coyote sightings, and I don't know if you are lucky, you may be able to see them wandering around scrounging for food. Thankfully, as a solo, not as a group, but you'd never know. Maybe there are other coyotes hovering around nearby. If there's one, there may be more. And they hang around, especially when it starts getting dark, like around maybe 5 to 6 p.m. That's why we try not to be hanging around the park that late. I think when the daylight saving stuff, that stupid thing, comes back or what have you, and the days are longer, they are not as out. But some of them, they don't give a crap. They will be hanging around trying to get food. And it's a little scary because one of them was like a block away from this house, and I thought it was just a stray dog. I was like, there's no stray dogs here. And then upon walking closer, it's a freaking coyote sniffing someone's potted plant. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, why is it here? I'm just walking home. And then it's just like, dun, 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 just sauntering around like it owns the place. And I took a video of it. I don't show it because it's near where I live, so I don't want to showcase where near the vicinity of the house. And so I did record it, and I did get a little close, but there was a few yards, but it started walking towards me, and I just crossed the damn street. I'm like, I know wildlife is not cute, cuddly creatures from Disney. Okay, I am aware of that. But I figured, well, I might as well record that. So I did. But when it started walking closer to me, I then bolted, not run, because you never know, they might run after you. So I just carefully walked. Okay, I'm done now. I'm going to go. Bye. And so that's it. I try not to alert their senses to want to approach me, and I just walk as calmly as possible away. And it just sauntered down the block like it ain't no thing. So I was like, oh, okay, sure. You own this joint. You can have it. So I just left. But my God, that kind of freaked me out. That was the closest I've ever been to a frigging coyote. There were some other instances where we thought it was just a dog at the park, but then and there's like a guy nearby. So I was like, oh, sometimes the owner lets their dog roam around without a leash. So I assume that guy was like that dog's owner, but this guy had his own dog, and he's like, he didn't care about this scraggly little guy. Yeah, they're kind of skinny. And so when I saw the past few coyotes walking around, I was like, oh, is that guy's dog? And it's like, no, it's not. It's a freaking coyote. And then another time I saw one, it had a rat in its mouth, and he's just like going away to eat his meal. I was like, oh, okay, you can have it. So there's more than one occasion where I've encountered coyotes here, but at the same time, yeah, I know not to approach. Just keep my distance. Don't freak out. You never know if they want to lunge at you because they might see you as a threat. I don't know their fight or flight mechanism with coyotes, but I don't want to risk it. Just because you don't have to know every single thing. Just use your common sense when it comes to a wild animal. Don't just be, I need this for social media purposes. Like, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. Just take your picture from a distance, look at it, and go away. That's it. That's all you have to do. Or just go away if you have a fear of them. I don't know where that has anything to do with Valentine's Day, but I have nothing to answer for that. So anyway, anything else I can write? I wrote, oh no, then someone just, I admit what my gift was. I'm not going to say that. Don't worry, it's rated G, but I was like, eh. It looks like he has bald spots. Okay, yeah, okay, those extra little lumps here, that's like the 3D printed hair. So I'm trying to match it with the flow of the hair and the 3D printed hair. But no, he has a bald spot. I don't want to add more fur. I'm tired. But maybe I can add this one that fell out and just smush it on here. That's also a possibility. But no, it's not going to work that way. I have to use glue. Unfortunately. But I'll just do what I can here. And if it looks okay, I can add a little bit more and just tweak it from there. And this paint is kind of doomed already, so I'm not too like, oh, I'm ruining the paint. If I don't care, I don't care. But if it's like, oh, it's almost done anyway, then I care even less. So this works out for me. That's fine. Anything online? Oh, it's already 55 minutes. What else can I talk about before I wrap things up? Do grocery shopping and look for something when I'm out. But I want to ask, what are you going to do to celebrate Valentine's Day? Like, you totally don't have to. You totally don't. Before my husband, I would just give chocolates to friends and my siblings. Sometimes they gave me chocolates. Oh, we have extra. You want some? Like, oh, hell yeah, give me that shit. So we didn't really see it that big, but though my dad did give my mom like a whole big bunches of roses, and also my oldest brother did that for my mom as well. I was like, that's nice. And so the other thing is I this was my own fault. I did tell the husband when we were dating that I don't really like flowers too much, because yeah, you buy the flowers and they look great and they're expensive, but then they die. It's like, why so much money when they die? So ever since then, he never bought me flowers. Maybe I remember one or two, I think, but he really took it to heart that I don't want flowers. But at the same time, I don't mind the gesture, but at the same time, I feel bad for the flowers for being cut and they had to die for $60 a pop, you know? But yeah, if anything, give me art supplies, draw me something. That's way cheaper, to be honest. And he knows how to draw, but he says I need to be inspired. Like, you got a deadline, get inspired faster. And I'm just kidding. But yeah, I actually don't mind handmade gifts, or they don't have to be super elaborate, like even a drawing. And if you're not the best artist, I totally don't give a crap about that. But at least try, because I know the difference at this point between trying to draw, like doing your best efforts, and then you just draw a stick figure and here for you. I am old enough to know the difference between effort and half-assing. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. So it's a bit scraggly on here, but it looks a lot better now, I think, just because I want him to look kind of messy and dirty, because he does look like that. Even his robes, I wasn't supposed to put this much gold. I'm supposed to put like maybe like a grayish brown, because the gold has been worn out. So I might have to dim this shininess down. Yeah, it is a little bit too shiny, but I still needed to have some kind of like, where am I painting? So this is not totally a waste. So this is useful for me. That's fine. Just, it's gonna take, yeah, this project's gonna take me a bit longer, especially when I'm adding all this extra stuff. The longer this takes, it's usually because I'm doing extra. But I also have to know when to stop. If I am not careful, I can do way too much, and it's like, what the hell? What are you doing? Stop it. Why won't you stop? Stop painting so much. So yes, sometimes as artists, we don't know when is the best time to stop. We just keep going until maybe someone should suggest it's time to let go and finish the dang painting. Maybe. Anything online that I've seen recently? I don't think so. This is too bright. I have to add this. Now I can add this stuff again. Oh, this is a lot. Sorry. Okay. So not on YouTube, but I was looking online for more figurines to paint or more 3D print models to paint. And I don't like too much of the people. Maybe the guys are pretty cool and some of the fantasy characters. I like the detail of their like, but it's usually like World War II or military stuff and tanks and weapons and it's super detailed and pretty neat. But I unfortunately, well, that could be my 100K. I picked something from World War II or some other. If it was for the Korean War, I don't know yet. I don't think I've seen that yet. I can look for it. That can be my 100K celebration. Is I paint something from the stuff I've been posting. That is also possible. Another thing I notice is that a lot of the women, but then again, it's the men that are making these things, so I don't totally blame, but then I can't help but scratch my head. What is this? What is this rated R stuff? but again, because I'm not the demographic, I am not very into what they're putting out there. If you look for unfinished 3D print model kits, what have you, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, oh, okay. But hey, if you want to try it, by all means, go ahead. Just I don't know if you want to have it loud and proud on your desk, but that's your desk, not mine. So have at it. I saw one that was like a pirate hippo of some kind. I like that one, but I haven't seen it for a while. I'm not sure if they still have it available. I like the ones where they have like animal heads and people bodies. That one's kind of funny. Like this, yeah, he's not a people, but he's also a people. No, wait, he's a demon. But he has like functioning hands and feet and stuff, and he fights. So I don't mind that kind of figurine. And then another one I saw, which kind of caught my eye. It's a bit more expensive than this. It's Akasha from Queen of the Damned. That one looks pretty cool, but I am also very intimidated. It looks like you have to use airbrushing for sure. If I were to use acrylic paint, I probably have to thin out the paint more so the paint goes on smoothly, I think. But I also worry that I am not that good. And the layers, if I have to do layers of thin paints, I'm worried that it's going to start getting chunky. So those are like my main concerns about such kinds of figurines, especially if they involve people, and people usually involve having smooth enough skin, more or less. And I don't know. I don't think I've painted an actual full-bodied print model or figurine or statue, what have you. But I am kind of curious because I do like that Akasha character. So yeah, that one's kind of neat. Anything else? Oh, Scorpion looks fun. But I think it's not like the classic Mortal Kombat. It's more of like an upgrade version, but he looks pretty good. It's very detailed. Black Myth Wukong, the Destined one, I would like to, but I haven't seen like an actual model that I want to paint yet, or they're a bit too expensive and out of my price range. So I will keep a lookout though, because I would like to paint him, but he's also very intimidating. Especially if you see the Chapter 6 final armor. Oh my god, I am intimidated as hell. I'm too scared to even draw it. That's how good it is. It's the same feeling I had when trying to draw the Terminator cyborg robot thingies, but worse because there's even more detail than that. It's insane. But I really would like to try one of them, but I know for sure it's not an overnight project. I have to work on it for a long time. Like this is definitely taking me a long time. So I am aware that this is a very serious, not super serious, but definitely a serious project for me, especially if I want to add extra things like what I'm doing now. Oh, this does look a lot better. See? Oh. Okay, sorry. I can't do super low voices, even though I do have a low-ish voice for a female woman. Do they? That's redundant. Okay, so... Oh, okay, so it's been 4 minutes. What the heck am I doing? Also, hello if you actually do show up. Thank you for dropping by and watching whatever I'm doing. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, but I just wanted this to look a little bit more messy because he is a boar. He is kind of a slob, and hopefully the paint will dry into like a matte finish or satin finish, more or less. But I didn't want the fur to be like all over the place. That's why I'm trying to paint it down a bit so it looks a little bit more. There's a bit more form to him, and also adhering to the original 3D printed hair. But at the same, it's all right. At the same time, though, I wish I rather have the wool with the colors that I have on hand as paints. But again, I couldn't find the damn things. It took me more than 3 days, and then I gave up. And I was like, let's paint on it and see what happens. See, this is my method. Let's do this and see what happens. That's how I do things. I wish I had like, okay, guys, let's have a tutorial. We're going to do this. And step one, you have your stuff, and then you do the thing. Here's some process steps. And here you go. Ta-da, it's all done. Don't you like it? Leave a comment and subscribe, please. I don't know if you noticed, I never asked for please subscribe. I think initially I started the YouTube channel as a art tutorial thing. I would leave at the end, please subscribe and blah, blah, blah. I don't anymore. I don't know why. I just stopped. I don't like begging. I think the algorithm likes it for the YouTuber to not beg, but always remind them, like, please like and comment and subscribe. It will help. Yeah. I know, but I assume we all know that by now. So I just assume we're all smart. We're initially smart, I assume, and so I don't want to have to remind you. So yeah, I appreciate it. I always do. It's just I don't want to force people to, especially when I do so many different things. And so a lot of the things, I don't think a lot of people, subscribers, like what I do. They like just the shorts of certain war shorts and Journey to the West inspired shorts with Shuchi and all that stuff, and that weird one with the monkey as an alien. Yeah, I don't mind those either, but I that's why I don't like to force people or feel like I have to keep asking them to subscribe. It'd be nice. I appreciate it all the time, despite how I sound. But if you like it, that's great. If you don't, I mean, it's okay. I won't be sad that long. Lay on the guilt kind of thick, lady. Anyway, I'm just kidding. If you do, it's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Just thank you for dropping by if you do. That's all I'm meaning. I joke, I jest, okay? But if you're going to try to hurt my feelings about not being a good artist, please go somewhere else. I don't have time for that crap. I'm too old for that shit. What are feelings? I mean, yeah, I have them, but they're somewhere. I'm hanging around Zhu Bajie too much, I swear. So anyway, 11 minutes, 7... No. 1 hour, 7 minutes, I'm sorry. I need to wrap things up, so I guess I gotta summarize what the heck I've been doing this whole time. For those of you who are just tuning in, what have I been doing? This, apparently. So he looks a lot better now. I didn't like all the tufts of hair, and it's all like one color. That is an improvement. He looks like he fell in the mud, but that's kind of the look I'm going for because he is a messy boar. He likes to get down and dirty. He kicked the crap out of me as a Destined One in Chapter 4. Yes. But I have a lot of fun working on him. It's taking a lot longer because I want to add extra. This is me being extra. And as much as I want to say I am near completion, unfortunately not. There are some bald spots. I am debating whether or not I should just cover it up with glue and wool. And if you're wondering what kind of wool, it's nothing special. I got these at Daiso. This is one of them. And those are not the colors. The color is supposed to, well, not supposed to, but I've been using this. So you can, you can kind of see, but then I'm trying to hide it because it's not all, his hair is not one color. Yeah, that's how boring I am. I can notice the shifting of colors of the boar's hair. It's definitely more than one color. So that's why I'm adding extra paints because I lost my freaking neutral color wool. I cannot get over that. I'm sorry if I repeat myself. And then meanwhile, I was talking about Valentine's Day and how I haven't really taken it seriously, even though I've been with my husband for double-digit years. And I was wondering, maybe I should take it more seriously. But then if I do take it more seriously, married it with the Chinese person, they have more than one Chinese holiday that has Valentine. So I was like, oh, should I celebrate those too? So yeah, makes me like maybe I shouldn't have to take it seriously, but at the same time, it's nice to be aware of there's other holidays and just the Valentine's Day. But I do realize sometimes people don't like being reminded they're single. I get it. Okay, I totally get it. Before my husband, I didn't have anyone either, so I didn't really think that far either. I just gave Valentines to my friends, family, and hoarded the good chocolates to myself. And I had a good time. Yes, that's fine. So I also tried to paint. Oh no, I tried to start sketching out Venom. It's ugly. I'm gonna have to paint over this and figure something out because I don't like this. I don't like you, sir. You're a blight to my existence. Get out of my face. I mean that with love. So, and I did have this one, but between this and this, which one would you rather work on? Honestly. Yes, you, obviously, because he's smiling at me. He has a mouth. You, sir, have no mouth, but I can forgive you. So, yeah. Do you guys take Valentine's Day seriously? Do you think it's the blight of the calendar? Because it reminds everyone and anyone who's single that not so great things, but at the same time, I think at most just eat chocolate, give some to your friends, and don't think too hard. Otherwise, you'll be a lot more sadder than you are. So anyway, I cannot give good advice. Don't take me too seriously, but this is just me saying like I don't take Valentine's that seriously, but I do question whether or not I should. But at the same time, it's like a lot more effort that I don't feel like investing at this moment. At most, hey man, give me a drawing. That'd be great. I hope he's watching it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think I'll wrap things up for now. Thank you so much for sticking around and actually watching this. This is turning out pretty well, surprisingly. I was very apprehensive as to adding paint on fur or wool because I never did that before, but it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna stop bothering you. Thank you so much again for watching me. I'll see you again next Wednesday for another live stream. This is Delion getting on out of here. Thanks again for watching as much as you did or popping on over. Till next time. Bye-bye. Happy Valentine's.